Ron DeSantis launched his presidential campaign last night in what the kids might call an epic fail. It was embarrassing and awkward and had the bewildering, unsteadying feel of a disaster unfolding before your very eyes. You can't look away, and yet you're viscerally uncomfortable watching it too. He made the announcement on Twitter Spaces with Elon Musk and our pal David Sachs from the All In podcast. Kudos to all involved for choosing a different medium and bypassing the mainstream media, which hates DeSantis and which is hated by most Republican voters. I support that mission, but its execution here, to put it kindly, did not work. How on earth were the kinks not worked out beforehand? Some 600,000 people tried logging on to watch, a considerable feat given that most of us had never been on Twitter Spaces, including journalists like me, only to be met with messages like, "This space is not available," and "This space has ended," all before it had even begun. Not a good omen, and certainly not the messaging a campaign wants on launch night. Not available. This is over. It was indeed a failure to launch, and it is dominating the news coverage today, the result of an unnecessary, unforced error on DeSantis's part. Almost as bad was when you did enter the space, but got the weird elevator music, only to then be kicked off. Never thought I would be subjected to Muzak when turning in for a presidential announcement from the guy they say is the future of the Republican Party. Finally, they got it going, but not before losing some 300,000 frustrated viewers. The glitches were on Elon and his platform, to be sure, but how on earth did DeSantis' team not make absolutely sure Elon and co. were ready and their candidate was protected from this? Let's hope, by the way, they work out these kinks before Tucker starts posting over there, because crashing with 600,000 viewers ain't going to work with him. Today, Team DeSantis is trying to turn it all into a win by saying, "We broke the internet. What else can we break?" In other words, we are so popular, we broke Twitter. Well, kind of. 600,000 people may be a record for Twitter Spaces, but it is about half of what Fox News gets on any one of its even post-Tucker struggling primetime shows, which don't glitch and have discovered the magic of video. Video. How do you launch a presidential campaign without video? No clips to be played over and over by all the media the next day, or photos for the papers to put above the fold? Why? Why? Even the pre-packaged video DeSantis put out concurrent with the Twitter Spaces event did not have a shot of the candidate with adoring crowds or his beautiful family. It's just him alone walking through a curtain.
Our border is a disaster. Crime infests our cities. The federal government makes it harder for families to make ends meet, and the president flounders. But decline is a choice. Success is attainable, and freedom is worth fighting for. Righting the ship requires restoring sanity to our society, normalcy to our communities, and integrity to our institutions. Truth must be our foundation, and common sense can no longer be an uncommon virtue. In Florida, we proved that it can be done. We chose facts over fear, education over indoctrination, law and order over rioting and disorder. We held the line when freedom hung in the balance.
Where is the Freddie Mercury moment on the other side of the curtain, with the fans cheering and smiling and excited to be with him? Or how about just shots of DeSantis connecting with real live voters, glad-handing with a smile, holding the hand of a concerned voter somewhere? Talk about a missed opportunity, especially for a guy who's already suspected of lacking the personal touch one needs to succeed in presidential politics. You know what they needed? They needed Debbie Murphy. They needed my producer, who's been with me from the beginning for all of my Fox shows. She actually knows how to put something on television and make it look good, right? Hello? Well, you can't have her. What we then got, once the glitches were behind us, was a clearly scripted, uninspiring campaign speech of a few minutes, all audio only, delivered in DeSantis' trademark nasal voice, and then questions to kick it off about whether his policies in Florida are racist and reports of lost jobs in his state. What? You led with questions about your controversies out of your pre-scripted remarks? Yes, they are BS controversies, but why go there? Right off the bat, stay on your message. Stay on offense. They went right on defense. And they stayed there for quite some time, getting into negative stories most voters probably had not even heard about. What came next was boring, cringy, and downright uncomfortable. Some diehard DeSantis fans, virtually all of whom I knew and liked, and advisors asking softball questions that felt almost Pravda-esque in their obsequiousness. There was no spice, there was nothing challenging, and there was nothing newsworthy. Nothing to grab headlines the next day. I wrote a sentence to my team I didn't think I would ever write. I miss journalists. That's how I felt watching this. Somebody who would challenge him a little, bring the heat a little. Perhaps the worst offense was that through all of this, I didn't laugh or connect with the candidate even once. And this is a guy whose policies, most of them anyway, I support. He didn't crack a joke at his own expense. He didn't say something that touched me about America or the troubles we're going through. He didn't even tap into the righteous anger so many of us are feeling that has inspired many of his policies in Florida. Maybe he doesn't have that gene. Maybe he's just a pen and paper guy who will pass the right legislation, and that's enough of a blessing. But he is up against a man whose voters love him, who is up over DeSantis right now by anywhere from 30 to 45 points, and who has the advantage of already having been a sitting president. It is true adoration, loyalty, and love between Donald Trump and his base voters, the ones DeSantis has been trying to woo. Tearing them away with nice policy and Twitter isn't going to work. Some people take CBD for better sleep or less stress and more calm in their lives. Some take it for pain relief, better energy, or better focus and concentration. Today, I want to tell you about CB Distillery. CB Distillery, and their over 2 million satisfied customers. According to a poll of their customers, 90% reported they sleep better with CBD. 81% said CBD helps with stress, and 80% said CBD helps with aches and pains after physical activity. If you struggle to get a good night's sleep, and if you're dealing with too much stress and could just use a little calm in your life, if you suffer with pain and discomfort, especially after physical exercise, you could give CBD a try from cbdistillery.com. Use my 20% discount by visiting cbdistillery.com and enter my initials MK for your discount. No prescription is required. That's cbdistillery.com, promo code MK for 20% off, cbdistillery.com. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.